Welcome to this completely unbiased and wildly chaotic video featuring Grand Theft Auto Online. The following content may include reckless driving, criminal behavior, bad decisions, loud explosions, and the digital destruction of property. During these videos, I may also talk about pop culture, internet nonsense, celebrities, movies, games, and people in the chat. Any jokes, sarcasm, exaggerations, or insults directed at public figures, fictional characters, corporations, trends, or anything else are clearly comedic commentary and opinion, and are not statements of fact nor representations of my real-life views or beliefs. No real crimes are committed in the making of this video. No real people are harmed. No real allegations are being made about anyone living or dead. In fact, if it sounds ridiculous, guess what? You guessed it! It probably is. If you are easily offended, allergic to sarcasm, or have a hard time placing your personal biases aside, feel free to leave now. It's being unbiased, y'all. Viewer discretion is advised.
Explain to people that I have the answers, but it is what it is at this point, right? It is what it is. I'm just trying to be unbiased about the things that I'm viewing, and I provide perspectives that are easily digestible. That way you can provide this information to children. Like, if you can explain it to a child, then you got it down. At least that's what I've been told. So when I talk about making a baby being similar to following a recipe, I'm not just talking about the act that y'all like to do but don't produce a child with. I'm talking about the ingredients being the actual genetic material from two people, and each person contributing their part of the recipe. Similar to how you would be adding flour and eggs and sugar into a bowl, right? I told y'all in a recent episode, timing matters when you're cooking. If the ingredients were added at the wrong time or the conditions are off, then the recipe won't work at all. Or at least it won't work like you intended it to. It might come out looking like something, but it ain't gonna be what you thought it was gonna be. That's why the environment matters too, all right? The oven has to be the right temperature. Just like in pregnancy, the body provides the conditions needed for the development. That's why prenatal care is extremely important, especially for the people in my community. We have the lowest prenatal care rate. And I wish it was revolving around just us being there for each other more. Because a lot of it don't just do what you go into your appointments. It also do with what you do in and out of that. You know, instructions shape the outcome, for real. So yes, DNA acts as the recipe card. You know, it gives you the directions for the traits that you'll possibly have, like your height potential, for example, or maybe even your eye color. And a lot of your biological functions, whether you know it or not, depend on your parents. And if your dad's not there, specifically in the prenatal phase, when we're developing, trying to protect mom, it's going to be difficult for you to develop properly. Those small variations will create a very unique recipe, very unique results. So when you're using the same recipe, like some people tend to try to do, that doesn't mean that those two dishes are going to come out exactly the same, even if you have identical twins. Just like that, every baby has its own unique makeup. The same way every dish does. But the one thing I love about following a recipe is this, for example, if I follow my grandmother's recipe, or if I follow my mother's recipe or something, it's going to taste exactly like them. And what I mean by that is it's going to taste exactly how they would have made it. And that provides a very sonder feeling in my heart to know that everybody around me is having those similar experiences, hopefully, when they're tasting that final product. Now, outside influences also affect that product. Like, right, for example, outside influences are trying to affect what I'm doing with my product right now. Damn it. So you got to defend it. You got to protect it. That's why just having those two original recipe developers there is extremely important. You got to like who it is you're trying to make this child with. And I hear all these talks about mistakes, but there's, like I said, certain environments that create children. There's certain times of the month, whether you're studied or not, that create babies. Now, some recipes are simple. Others are complicated. Just like certain circumstances are complicated. Gotcha. But what I want you to understand is Fertility and genetics and even pregnancy can involve unexpected challenges as well. There are no substitutions though. And there may be extra steps to your pregnancy than someone else's. That's why you shouldn't be looking at somebody else's work. Keep your eyes on your own paper. That goes back to school. Now, I realize that making a baby contains a lot more than just putting the cake in the oven. But even then, there are physical elements of the baby making process that's similar to putting the final product in the oven. Timing is everything. Intention is the most important. Why are you intending to bake this dish? Are you baking it to gain something from somebody? Are you baking it to enrich your family? Or are you just baking it because you like to bake? Hell, some people just like to bake. Some people will let you use their oven because they just like to bake. But ultimately, understand that if you follow the recipe and you have the right ingredients with the proper environment and enough time, you'll be able to map out a way to bake a beautiful final product. And every final product is beautiful. And whether or not you believe that that final product has to be fully developed to be appreciated, that's totally up to you and your mentality. Susie Q. That's up to you, Susie Q. But what I believe is, if it has the potential to nourish the human race, it deserves a chance to grow. It deserves a chance to reach its full potential. Now, whether or not you believe life starts in the womb or outside of it, that's a social construct that I'm happy to debunk in the future. But what I do want to point out is that if you decide to sit down or lay down with someone and lay out all the ingredients, you better follow that recipe and don't switch sides once the final product is here. Because whether it's burnt or whether it's undercooked or whether it's not what you expected, you're still gonna eat and love your meal, right? The same way you better love your child. Whether they're premature, whether they were in there too long, whether labor was short, whether you suffered in labor for days, whether you took the epidural or not. Love yours. Peace, real ones.